Hello, everybody. Welcome back to The Way That I See It. My name is Lucy Superfox, and this is my podcast. I'm just changing the light here. Hopefully you can see me all right. So, oh, there we go. That's much brighter. So today I wanted to share with you a little bit about a topic that I think it's time that we talked about it. And that is getting freaking real with yourself. So I'm a bit tired. I've come off an event today. I spoke at an event today about money mindset. It was an amazing event. So glad I went. Think I might be a little bit run down. Going on holiday tomorrow. Thought it was hay fever. Maybe not. I feel a bit like my throat's a bit sore and I'm like, oh, a bit tired. And I could have come away from today's event and gone, oh, that was nice. And then carried on with the rest of my day and carried on with the rest of my evening and, got a few bits done like I'm doing now. And then just watch TV and forgot about it, right? Or I could take what I learned today, take the new things that I heard or the new ways that were framed, and even I could take my own training and I could go, what are you going to do with that? And the truth is, so many people intellectualize personal development. So many people know all the things. They're like, oh yeah, I know all the trauma modalities. They're like, oh yeah, I know all about somatic healing. Yeah, I know all about limiting beliefs. Right, well, that's great that you know, but do you know? Like, have you transcended your bullshit? Have you grown through every single layer, peeled back the onion of every single piece of crap that's holding you back from the one goal or the one dream that you said you were committed to this year? So this is the topic I wanted to talk about. If you right now are 4.5 months into this year at the time of recording this, right, it's mid-May 2023, and right now you are not a third of the way towards your goal or have made even progress that looks like it might be anywhere close to a third, work must be done. Now, whether that work is on your mindset, whether that work is in terms of efforting on the outside, or whether that work is in terms of matching those two things up and really stepping into that next level version of you, really stepping into alignment, that's a question only you know the answer to. But here's a brutal truth that so many people say all the time, but don't necessarily really listen. And that is, if nothing changes, nothing changes. So is your current strategy delivering you progressive results towards your goal? If the answer is yes, whoop-de-doo, amazing for you. But here's the challenge. No strategy will fix a mindset issue. So you can be doing all the strategy in the world, but if you don't deeply believe in your goals, if you don't deeply believe in what is possible for you, and you're not actually bringing that energy and alignment to the things that you're doing, nothing will change. And that's a fact. So with that being said, right now, let's get real with yourself. Let's get real and say, where are you? What's actually happening? What is your current reality? Like, where is your bank balance at? Where are your client numbers at? What is your number on the scales or your lifts in the gym or whatever goals you've set for yourself, right? I'm not here to tell you the goal. I'm just here to give you my love, right? Said in a harsh and difficult and Lucy Superfox only way, right? But the truth is, are you on track? Because guys, I can sit here and tell you, I'm fucking not. I'm not. Now, look, I believe in miracles. I believe we can do all the work and 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 do all the work. And sometimes it won't show up. And then we follow a very linear, very logical path of thinking. And so what I've just talked about is, expecting you to be a third of the way through the year, third of the way to your goals. It's a very logical approach to that. But on the flip side, right? And this is the question you really need to ask yourself. Am I creating momentum in the direction of my goals and dreams on a daily basis? So even if you're not where you want to be at this point in time in the year or in the month or whatever it might be, are you actually doing the things that move you in momentum? Are you getting in the energy every day? Are you working on your beliefs every day? Are you taking action every day, even if it's small? But then it's about getting really real about what action is the thing that moves the needle forward. Because a lot of people live a lot of life in doing the things that are like very maintenance tasks that keep life exactly the same way that it is. So are you actually doing the things when you are doing things? Are they things moving you forward in the momentum of your goals and dreams? Or are you just being consistent? Now, this is why I hate the word consistency, because it's actually a word that's meant to mean showing up with, passion and showing up and meaning. And actually what it's turned into is fucking box ticking. And there is nothing about an exceptional life. There is nothing about wealth. There is nothing about success. There is nothing about growth. There is nothing about transformation that comes from ticking boxes. It comes from being aligned, it comes from being intentional, it comes from being passionate, and it comes from showing up on a regular basis because you believe in your goals and dreams. So here's the thing. If you're not then doing that, if you're not building momentum in the direction of your goals and dreams, then there is work to be done. If actually all you're doing is box ticking in the hope that it might, yes, great, you might feel good about yourself every single day, or you might reset every Monday and give yourself that new sense of hope. But you could also be deluding yourself into a false sense of security about what's really happening. So if every single week you're like, okay, we'll start again today, start again tomorrow, start again next week, start again now, that is a false sense of security about how your year or how your month or how your life is actually progressing. And that is fucking harsh for me to say, right? But it's true. Because if you're not actually building any momentum through your energy, through your intention, through your focus, through your activity, through your actions, through your beliefs, through how you're showing up in the world, then nothing will fucking change. And I don't know how many times we all need to hear this. And I am putting my hand up and saying, I needed to hear this again today, which is if nothing changes, nothing changes. So if you are applying the same strategy and it's not creating any different results, that obviously isn't the whole strategy. And if you're applying a really solid, good strategy, but you're just not applying it with the energy, then that's where the work needs to be done. So that is my question to you, is right now, at this point in the year, at this point in the month, at this point of where you are, what is the thing that you need to do to actually create that momentum in the direction of your goals and dreams? And that is about being really, really real with yourself. So with all that being said, right, when you then work out where you are, where you're honestly like, okay, this is where I am, this is what's happening, this is, you know, how life is going, let's be honest with myself, it's not going where I want it to, blah, blah, blah. Then you get to turn around and give yourself that compassion. You then get to have that moment where you're like, okay, let's be kind to myself in this moment. Let's not berate myself for this. Let's accept it. And, you know, the quote that I've paraphrased a few times from Carl Rogers, I said young on the last podcast, Carl Rogers, is the moment one truly accepts oneself is the moment one really changes, right? And I've paraphrased that. But the point is, you then have to accept where you are. You can't deny where you are. You can't push off from where you are and say, oh, well, I don't want to be there, so we're going to go there. You actually have to accept it and say, I am where I am now because of everything I've done up to this point, but everything I've done up to this point doesn't have to dictate my future moving forward. What dictates my future moving forward is actually what I do next, how I feel next, and what I believe next. So if what you're doing, what you're feeling, and what you're believing isn't actually changing or hasn't actually progressed or moved forward in the last few months, then its likelihood is the outward results, whether it's your body, business, money, or relationship, won't have either. So what we really need to do is get really honest and real with ourselves about what's really happening in our lives and really happening in our business. Now, I am a big believer in big vision, in big dreams. Like, I put my hands up and tell you, and I cannot wait one day for someone to send me this podcast and say, oh my God, you did it. You said it on this podcast. I will be a multi-millionaire. Now, not because I necessarily just want to sit on millions of pounds for no reason, for shits and gigs, but because I want the lifestyle it brings of total flexibility. I want to be able to travel the world at my own time on my own dime. I want to be able to, you know, do amazing things for causes. I want to do all of that and be serving and helping other people. So I have no doubt, and I have massive belief in big dreams and big visions. And I heard a great quote today. You know, someone told me I was delusional. I nearly fell off my unicorn, right? And the truth is, it's a great quote and I love it. And actually, sometimes I think my big dreams scare people and they think I'm delusional. But the difference is, I have a big vision dream, but I'm not delusional about the amount of time, effort, regularity, energy, belief work it's going to take to get there. And I think the challenge is, a lot of people believe they're able to make a massive jump with a tiny shift. And if I'm being totally honest, we always get what we're available for, right? So if you're getting what you've been getting and nothing is changing, then you are still getting what you're available for. So in order to change what you're available for, to change what you're getting, you've got to change everything that you're doing. And it might mean only changing it 1%, right? Because sometimes the 1% builds up over time and compounds. But the truth of the matter is, if you right now are sat here in mid-May at the time of recording this, and you are not where you want to be, now is the time to reassess. Now is the time to get real with yourself about what's really happening in your business and life. Call yourself out on it, and not because you're trying to be harsh or unkind, but because you genuinely care about achieving your goals and dreams. And the only way to really progress and move forward is to stop putting our head in the sand, stop being delusional in the fact that you think every week's suddenly going to be a miraculous change, and actually start to implement the things that we learn. Rather than intellectualize all this personal growth and development, all this clever shit, is to actually just apply it to our lives, work it until it stops working, then we level up again and we work it all over again. So as you can tell, I'm feeling fiercely passionate today. Whenever I've trained, I'm always on one. But I think that's all I had to say. So get real with yourself. It's time. This was the way that I see it, and I'll see you on the next episode.